Good. It sounds like my mic is on. Hi, my name is Corinna. I am thrilled to welcome all of you to the first Beginner's Ear at the Green Space. I'm grateful to have Taka Kigawa in charge of the music for this one, and Thomas Droge is going to lead the meditation. I'm really grateful for WQXR for giving us this opportunity to bring this idea to a new space, to Steinway for giving us a beautiful piano, and to the Jerome L. Green Foundation for their support and for lending their name to this impeccably soundproofed space. I don't know if you have already experienced it, but if you just turn around for a second and see what is going on behind you on the street, there is a cement mix machine out there, there are pneumatic drills, there is traffic, there is Manhattan in all its glory, and we are really insulated from that. So just that is already a very special way to spend our lunch break. And I'm really grateful for all of you to making it here. I have no idea what it took for you to come here, but my guess is that you left behind all manner of crowded offices and inboxes and noisy commutes just to be here. And it really speaks to our desire to find a little bit of mental clarity, a little bit of silence, and a little bit of beauty in the midst of our day. And yet that can be really hard to do, like just making it through the door and just shielding the noise from us can sometimes not be enough, because there can be a lot of that static, a lot of that noise and chatter that kind of clings to us even when we enter something like a concert. So the plan that we have here is to just see if we can spend a little bit of time clearing that mental static, letting Thomas guide us through a very simple mindfulness practice so that we can find a place of stillness inside of ourselves, and then have Taka expand that spacious awareness and really deepen it with some absolutely gorgeous music. I am not giving you the full program of the music beforehand, but we will have a chance after the music to speak a little bit and for Taka to talk us through the pieces that he played. And before I hand over to Thomas, I just want to leave just one more thought with you that is kind of at the heart of Beginner's Ear, which is that listening is, I think, too often seen as a passive endeavor. I would like to see if we can't reframe listening as something really active and actually quite creative in a way too, because it's really only through our attentive stillness here in this room that we create the conditions that make Taka's music possible. And so in a way, we are all the co-creators of this performance right here today. And that is an act of generosity too, and I want to thank you for that. I know that there are a few people who might be listening in on Facebook. If you are, I would love to hear feedback on how that comes across. This is the first time we're trying that, and I have no idea how much of it translates, but if you are able to shield a little bit of the busyness from wherever you are and join us, we will be very happy to have your energy in the room too. So I'm going to hand over to Thomas. He's going to lead us in a very simple meditation practice. He has a little gong that he's going to ring once before and then once at the end of that practice. And then Taka's going to start playing. I invite you to keep your eyes closed. That can be a really beautiful way to hearing with all our senses. But if you feel like you need to shift or open your eyes, that's absolutely fine too. And then at the end, we will reconvene for just a few more moments of conversation. All right, I'll see you at the other end.
So, am I live? Let's find our feet on the ground. Get comfortable in your chair. Place your hands somewhere that feels comfortable. We're going to co-create an environment that I think you'll find quite special, and it's amazing how quickly we can enter into a cohesive space together. So let's all take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just bring ourselves into the room. As Corinna said, you'll hear the gong once now and then once at the end. And if you allow the resonance to quiet down, Taka will just step in. So let your eyelids hang like curtains. Feel the stability of the earth under your feet, the support of your chair, the ease of your body coming into alignment, an effortless space. Let your breath be soft and even, just breathing naturally. Start to follow the breath inward as you inhale through your nose. Drawing your awareness into your mind. Feel your thoughts, your goals, your conversations of the day that may be spinning around up there. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, like a breeze blowing leaves off a street, let the tension and ideas just pour down and away. Feel the muscles of your eyes start to soften. Feel your facial muscles relax, the jaw unhinging, softening, the tongue finding a comfortable resting place in the mouth. Feel your throat opening and easing into breath. The muscles of your neck. Find a place of easily balancing the head. And with each exhale as we move through the body, imagine water just pouring the tension out of you, back down into the earth. Bring your awareness to the left shoulder. Feel the stories of all the doing of your day, releasing down through the shoulder and the upper arm, the elbow softening, left forearm opening, left wrist and palm relaxing down into the fingertips of the left hand. All of the tension of the left arm just pouring down and out. Come to the right shoulder. Take all the doing out of your shoulder. Let it find its natural place of ease. Feel it rising and falling with your breath. The right upper arm opening. Tension just melting away as the elbow softens in the right arm. The right forearm opens. The right wrist frees itself up, and the palm and hand of the right side relax, allowing your energy and tension to just pour away. Come to your chest. Feel the beat of your heart. The rhythm you've known your whole life. Feel the heart opening. The lungs and rib cage all with ease breathing. Feel the middle back and lower back softening. Your drive and willpower and agendas, your shoulds, all pouring away for this time together. The muscles of your stomach softening. Feel the hips. Take a deep breath in and let the hips, as you exhale, just release for a moment, no longer having to worry about your direction anywhere. As we just stay in this infinite moment. As the hips soften, the muscles of the upper leg let go. Letting the stability of the earth hold the legs up. The left knee and the right knee opening in your perfect alignment. Feel the left lower leg, the calf and the shin. The right lower leg, calf and shin. Just releasing any tension. The left ankle. Taking a moment to not have to worry about balance. The right ankle releasing itself down into the foot. Feel the bottom of your feet, the left foot and the right foot settling into the ground. Feel the ground pushing back up against them. Toes of the left foot, spreading open a little bit and relaxing. The toes of the right foot. opening with ease. Feel into this whole body, this vehicle of your spirit. The essence of your nature. This balanced, relaxed physical structure. Feel the lightness of your spirit start to lift within it. Drawing up through the heart. Opening us to this creative moment together. With the feeling of yourself, with all of us in this room, have access to this moment of peace and creativity anytime. Another deep breath in, allowing your mind to remember this state so that it's always available to you.
so much. Thank you everyone for holding space for these beautiful sounds and this very special performance. And Taka, thank you for a gorgeous performance. It was quite yeah. So that was quite a breadth of styles and centuries that you took us through. Do you want to just quickly give us the set list that you played?
Okay. First piece was composed by Pierre Boulez, modernist, from his Notation number 9. And next, followed by Debussy, Pagodas, from Estampes. And next was Chopin, Prelude, Opus 45. Rarely performed prelude. Then J.S. Bach, Prelude in E-flat minor from Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. Then followed by another Boulez Notation, number 5. And J.S. Bach, no, I'm sorry, Messiaen, thank you. That's titled I Sleep, but my heart keeps watching. So I thought it was sort of appropriate. And followed by again Boulez Notation number 11. And the last piece was Bach Prelude, D major, Well-Tempered Clavier number 1.
Yeah, and I mean it was so extraordinary to have so much music that had such a different relationship to time, where time just seemed to expand, that it was almost like it didn't get to be subdivided into regular units, and then the last Bach was just fast and fizzy and sort of sparkling, and I was just sort of wondering, like as a musician, like how do you shape sort of silence and sound into time units like that?
Oh, it was actually very hard because style is very different, but in a way I tried to create coherence from the beginning until the end, kind of big bow or arch shape. So I think Boulez was, in my point of view, good choice, because I talked with Corinna about Boulez. I played 3 pieces, and we thought it would be interesting to place Boulez every couple of pieces as a kind of tropes. It's a kind of anchor getting back to the original, very, very abstract music, but very short, not so spiky. It was actually composed in 12-tone technique, but it doesn't feel like a very spiky 12-tone dodecaphonic piece of music, but instead, to me, it's very beautiful, quiet and beautiful. So it anchors the whole structure, just getting back to sense of getting home. So I think that made a strong contribution to coherency. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seemed like that very first piece with the Boulez, there was this sense of searching, of trying to express things without using the language that was existing before, because Boulez was all about doing away with the traditions that had developed until World War II, more or less, and yet the sort of the humanity that wants to come through is absolutely the same as in the Chopin. And then I found that the Chopin, like tucked in there, was incredibly weird sounding, you know, like, so even though that should have been one of the most mainstream pieces in this recital. Is there anyone who has a comment? Yeah.
I wondered, first of all, thank you so much, but I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about the concept of the, sorry.
Thank you, everybody. I have 2 questions, if that's allowed. Corinna, I wondered if you could explain a little bit about the concept of the beginner's ear, and why that's the name of this theme and this series. And I also wondered, from your perspective, I love that idea of attentive stillness, that by our attention and our silence and our stillness, we were part of the kind of continuum of creativity. But I wondered, from your perspective, as a concert artist who's used to an audience that you can make eye contact with and you can see how they're reacting, what did it feel like to be performing in a room where everyone was, in a sense, in their own world, even though we were all combined in this collective, unifying act of being here together?
Yeah, so Beginner's Ear is named after the concept of the beginner's mind, which comes out of Zen Buddhism, but you often hear used, it denotes like a state of openness that is just open to the experience that comes at you without preconditions and also without experience and expertise getting in the way, because like too often when we come into a moment bringing memories and expectations or how things have been or how things might be into the room, then they sort of get in the way of us fully experiencing what's in front of us. And I, having built up a meditation practice of my own over about 6 or 7 years now, there was a moment when I realized that the act of listening can also be kind of really elevated by taking away some of the sort of the mental chatter that I know as a music critic I've always had to bring into the room to listening. But also just some of the expectations, like, is this going to be like the recording of a piece that I have, or even reading the program, or feeling like you need to engage intellectually in order to experience. And I think that if we take away that intellectual engagement, something very special can happen. That's not to say that that's the only way to listen, but I think it's a new way to listen.
For the second question was for me, right? I would say I would love to do this again and again. This was my first experience in this situation, and it was so serene, of course quiet. I felt a lot of quiet but positive energy or vibe from you. And at the same time, I did a meditation with you a little bit before, and that made my concentration much sharper. So I think it helped my performance in better way, because I myself sensed my concentration was much strong and, like I said, sharper. And I immediately took off the Buddhist piece without any almost nothing. From just I picked the music from somewhere and let it go. So it was a great experience. So I really thank you for Corinna to give me such an opportunity, and thank you very much for coming. It was quite an experience.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I want to be mindful of people's Fridays, and I know that there is a world out there that, even though you don't hear it, you have to get back to. I would definitely love for anyone who wants to hang back and say hello and maybe give some feedback. I'll be by the door. Also, please come back and please spread the word. Next week is a very different experience. It's the Lunar New Year, and I've invited 3 incredible improvisers to come and sort of spin a very special soundscape on instruments from Taiwan, Korea, Indonesia, and Japan. So I think it's going to be quite dramatic and quite beautiful. And then in 2 weeks, it's piano again, but very different music, very hypnotic pieces from all written in our time. Composers like Hannah Lash, Julia Wolf, Philip Glass, and Julian de la Chica, who is an electronic kind of sound wizard. So, and then there's, like, going into February, there's all kinds, there's Baroque music, there's romantic piano, there's all kinds of different things. So please come back and please make space for like a little bit of mindfulness and beauty on a Friday. So thank you.